Welcome, 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 everybody, to another episode of Real Women, Real Talk. I am the amazing Shavon Carter, one of the facilitators for Real Women, and I am joined by who is that?
Hi, I am Trenace Richardson, and I'm the founder of Real Women, and it's good to be back with y'all.
Yeah, your hair is all straight and laid. It looks so cute.
A little something different. It's my winter hair, yes.
Yeah, looks good.
Mhm.
Looks good. So,
You.
y'all, we are Real Women Rock, a 501c3 nonprofit organization that exists to create safe spaces for women to do real personal development work on themselves. And we just want to give you a little peek, a sneak peek into what you can expect if you were to come to one of our experiences. So, at the end of this episode, we'll tell you a little bit more about who we are and what we do and how you can find out about us. But in the meantime, in between time, visit our website, www.realwomenrock.org, to find out more information. All right.
Mhm.
So we're going to go mosey on into our Real Talk segment. So, sister, Real Talk, how
Hmm.
are you doing today?
It is. I have so much senioritis right now. I have 4 days,
Uh-huh.
um, maybe 8 hours, 10 hours. I don't know. I'm gonna start working on the minutes
Uh-huh.
until my winter break starts, where
Okay.
it's just going to be me and doing things I want to do for the 2 weeks going into the new year. And
Mhm.
so I'm excited about that. Trying to wrap up a whole lot of things professionally and personally before the year ends. And so there's a lot going on right now.
Mhm.
Um, but I'm looking forward to some respite where I, get up when I want. Um, and so it's a lot going on right now, but I'm
Mhm.
okay because I see light at the end of the tunnel of busy.
Yeah, got
Mhm.
it, got it.
How
So
are
you know
you?
it won't like be like this always.
Yeah, yeah, temporary. This
Mhm.
week, like literally get through this week and I'm good to
Yeah,
go for a couple of
yeah.
weeks. How are
That's
you?
that's kind of where I am too. I am tired. That's
Mhm.
where I am. I think everything is starting to come down on me at one time. So I took the week off from my day job next week, which is great, and I'm just looking forward to being in the bed, sleeping, doing what I want to do because I need it. Like this has
Mhm.
been a lot going on this year with school and work and internship. So I think I just need a break.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. So
Can I
I
say
am.
something about that?
Uh-huh.
I really think that's what seasons are built for. I
Mm.
think there's a natural rhythm to life.
Mhm.
And one of the things, especially if you're in the climate where you experience different seasons, I'll just speak for myself.
Mhm.
It's it signals for me a shift that I need to take,
Mhm.
and find some slowdown or find ways to to rest or rejuvenate. And so in all the ways that the ground gets to rest in the winter, and you know animals rest in the winter, we get a chance to slow down a bit because there's a little less hustle and bustle happening outside of our homes. So
Mhm.
I'm hopeful, my body is just kind of answering the call of the season, and that some of us hear that and honor that within
Yeah.
ourselves.
I love that. Just going with the natural rhythm and flow of the seasons. And how
Mhm.
many times do we try to work against that?
Sure.
It makes me think about that.
I'm not fighting the fact that it gets later and
Mhm.
darker so early now.
Mhm.
I'm really getting into my bed and slowing down for the night earlier rather than later, just
Mhm.
because
Yeah.
it looked like it's telling me it's late. So We gonna do what it say.
That's exactly how I feel. Like after this, I just want to get in the bed right now,
Mhm.
because it's dark outside. So yeah, I
Mhm.
absolutely get it. So I'm with you. So it sounds like both of our bodies is looking forward to some rest
Absolutely.
in this
We gonna
vacation
give y'all all we got, and we tired. We are
time.
definitely in that.
Exactly, exactly. So,
Mhm.
another thing I wanted to ask you for this real talk segment, as we are into this Christmas holiday season, right? When this airs, it'll be the week before Christmas. And
Mhm.
so I wanted to ask, what's something funny that you believed when you were younger that you no longer believe as an adult?
I'm glad you said funny.
Right?
I can go a whole lot of
Love
other
mentioning
places
Christmas
with
like
that,
Santa
right?
Claus or something like that,
Yeah,
but yeah,
yeah, we
something
can keep it
fun.
light. We'll keep it
Yeah,
light now.
lighthearted, right?
Um, yeah, so definitely like Santa Claus. I think there was a hot minute. There was a hot
Mhm,
minute I believed in Santa Claus.
mhm.
I caught my mother and my father when they were together. I caught them pulling toys out and setting them up under the tree. And I was like, what are y'all doing? And they didn't try to cover up, we helping Santa and all of that. They just told me. So they got caught red-handed.
Hilarious.
And I think um, if I were to go um, funny, I think it's not funny, but it's still a little lighter. I
Mhm.
just really believed like the world was my oyster. I just
Hmm.
believed I could um speak it, see it, have it like no problems. I just
Mhm.
believe, what do I want to be? I want to be this, and this. I
Right,
want to be
at the same
all
time.
five of them, you know?
Yes. Uh-huh. Hilarious.
So yeah, just knowing my body doesn't want to do five of them anymore, just as I
Yeah.
got older and an adult. But yeah, so those two things for now, what comes to mind. What about you?
Mhm. So I believed, and I feel like this was proven for a long
Mhm.
time, that I could eat whatever I wanted to and still stay the same weight.
Talk about it.
I really believe that.
Mm,
And it
mm.
happened for a long time. And I don't think I fully grasped that it was because I was active, it was because of my metabolism. I didn't think about any of that until I turned 40. And then things just started to stack on and stay there. And I'm like, I don't understand
What
why this
happened?
is happening
Mm,
and why
mm.
this weight is still here. Why don't I look like I looked when I was in my 20s and 30s? I don't understand. So I realized that I was like a little delusional for a long time.
No, listen, you can do the same amount of activity that
Mhm,
you do, and
mhm,
maybe eat the same amount or type of food,
huh.
and the body still does something different.
It does what it wants to do.
It does.
It really does. And my
Mm.
mama used to say that all the time. And I'm like, girl, my body type, like it's not going, I'm gonna be fine. And then I went to the doctor last week, and the doctor said, "Oh, you weigh 159." I said, "Well, wait a minute now. Now, where did that come from?
What you say?
Since when?" Oh, Lord, yeah. So that's something I'm learning at my big age. That you really do have to be intentional about about things.
Really intentional. And I really do think we should do a couple of, maybe even a series, but definitely a health and wellness type of
Mhm.
episode or two,
Yeah.
because um, this age changes. I think
Mhm.
we should be talking to those younger than us so that they would be aware,
Yeah.
and and be able to commiserate together what we're going through, and then strategize together and be in community together
Mhm.
talking about it. So I'm looking forward to doing more of that in the Real Women Sister circles.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it'll spill over into the episodes too.
Absolutely. I think it's needed to
Mm,
talk about the whole woman and just the things that we experience as we get older because it's a necessary conversation. Yeah.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Okay, so we would love to hear from you all. We want to know what's something funny that you once believed that you no longer believe as an adult.
Are you
Feel
getting
free to reach out to us at speakpipe.com/, real women real talk, or you can email us at info@realwomenrock.org so that we could hear from you.
Mhm.
All right, sister, are you ready to dive deep into this next conversation that we're going to talk
I got a feeling about this one,
about?
child.
You
Ah,
know, it's this one is gonna be interesting because it's something that I have been exploring with myself. This is always some type of excavation going on over here. I don't know.
mhm,
Maybe it's because I have so much time on my hands to just be with myself, so we just be talking.
mhm, mhm.
So,
It's a good thing.
today's topic, I wanted to use this title, "Girl, I don't know."
I love it. I don't know.
And I want to talk about our relationship to uncertainty.
Mhm,
And I got this topic because I am a loyal listener now to the Holy Smokes podcast. I'm a part of the Patreon community.
oh,
Yes, we had Pamela Merritt Smith on with us a couple of weeks ago, who is from the faith community, along with her husband, Christian Smith, who leads that community. And I am now a part of the ecosystem, which I'm really excited about.
yes. We shout
Yes,
y'all out. We love
I
y'all.
know. And so they had the Holy Smokes podcast. They had an episode entitled "Grieving the Loss of Uncertainty." And I was watching that episode, and it just really hit me as I thought about my relationship to uncertainty. So there were several perspectives shared that I appreciated, but one of the perspectives was that uncertainty equals a unfamiliarity and a break in our routine, and
Mm,
just a sense of not knowing how things will turn out.
mhm.
So before I get into what this means to me and how this is what it's stirring up for me, what is your relationship to uncertainty, sister? As you think about that.
Yeah. Um, there is a fear of the unknown.
Mhm.
So I can honestly say that whether it is some philosophical thought about what is life about or what's going to happen in life,
Mhm.
or whether it's planning my life out, just what should I do this day or do that day, or what risks should I take, should I try this or should I try that. So whether it's my actual life or philosophical thoughts, there's a fear to not knowing, and so
Mhm.
and an uncomfortability with not
Yeah.
knowing.
Mhm.
And so I am working through that because I am becoming, and I know we're going to talk about this, I am becoming more comfortable with uncertainty and not
Yeah.
knowing and not
Mhm.
being sure of
Yeah.
certain things, and feeling really, I'll say not really, but more comfortable saying I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's a journey. It's a journey. So the words I think of are fearful and uncomfortable. Those are the two
Mm.
mind.
Mhm. Yeah.
Mm,
So for me, I am very uncomfortable with uncertainty in certain aspects. So
mhm,
I'm noticing it as it relates to the counseling profession that I am
mm,
in now, and really a beginner in.
mhm,
So when I compare that to 20 plus years as an auditor and just having so much knowledge and understanding and experience associated with that career, starting over essentially
Mm,
in a whole new career is uncomfortable. On
mm,
top of, in the auditing profession, it's black and white. So it is, you have criteria, you have standards, you have a way of doing things that is known and sure. But in counseling, it's so gray. Like you are
mm,
living in the gray area. They give
mhm,
you things that you can use, like tools and theories, but you just don't know because you're dealing with people. And
mm,
because we as people are complex, there isn't a formula that can fit every person.
mhm,
So in it, you have to depend on your intuition. You have to depend on like the gut and just be okay with just being yourself and being okay with not knowing the answers. And
mhm,
that is extremely uncomfortable, uncomfortable for me. Um,
mhm,
and in some ways, there are some times when I feel like I'm in a flow, and there are sometimes when I get in my head about it. So that is something that I'm working through. It's funny because I was talking to my therapist about this, and he had to gently remind me, like, you're new to this. Like, this is something that you really have to give yourself grace for over and over again because you're still developing your identity as a counselor. So you're not going to know everything. Even if you were doing it for 20 years, you wouldn't know everything. So it just helped me to see, like, man, I am really, struggling with this not knowing, and it's associated for me with what I make it mean about me when I don't know. And that's what it's really hitting up against, like, what am I making it mean about me to
mm.
not know?
Child.
So let me ask you that question, sister. What do you
Mhm.
make not knowing mean about you?
So I grew up in a culture and an environment, especially in church circles, where we had an answer for everything. So
Yeah.
the unknowns of life,
Mhm.
there's an answer for that.
Mhm.
Um, Jesus is the answer for the world today. Like
Yes.
literally, there's an answer for anything and everything. First of all, you can find it in the Word of God. That was,
Yeah.
that was the go-to.
Mhm.
And so for me to admit that I don't know something, especially historically, I'm moving towards something else now, but my relationship to not knowing is feeling like there's some spiritual inadequacy
Mm.
because perhaps it hasn't been revealed to me or I'm not discerning it because something is wrong, as you said, with
Mm.
me.
Yeah.
But I have connected feeling the feeling it deep in my knower and that I
Yeah.
know that I know that I know and I
Yeah.
know without a shadow of a doubt, like all of that. I don't have that about everything. And
Mhm.
I don't have that about a lot of things these days. And if I allow myself to, that not knowing will say to me, you're not doing something right because
Mm.
should you should know because
Yeah.
God would reveal it to you. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? That's
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, that's good. That is so that is so good because it does connect to what we have been taught and the
Mhm,
messaging and what not knowing represents for us, and and taking that personally. Um so for me, in the context of counseling, because that's really where it's showing up for me right now, I'm equating not knowing to I haven't uh I haven't received enough, or I haven't retained enough information in order to have it in my toolbox to be
mm,
able to use. So I'm making that mean that about me. And then I'm also on a even deeper level when I was saying that in as a counselor, you have to be comfortable with just being
mhm,
and just being yourself and bringing what you have and who you are to the table. It's really uncovering my inadequacy, the feelings of
mhm,
inadequacy, because
mhm,
I'm so used to performing
mhm,
in my day job, and just it's more performance based. as
Mhm.
opposed to this job. It's more about just presence
Yeah.
and just being, and who you are is a lot of times enough. And so I'm
Mhm.
wrestling with that, like, nah, but
Mhm.
it's got to be something I got to do. I got to show them that I know all the things. It's like, no, that's
Mhm.
not.
Mhm.
It's not necessarily how it goes. Like, yeah, you there are some things that you need to know, but for the most part, 9 times out of 10, it's about being in the presence and following, and like I said before, the intuition. And so that's what I'm struggling with. Like the template or the belief, faulty belief system that I am not enough
Mhm.
is being triggered, and so it's causing me to do some deeper level work on that dysfunctional thought process that I have within myself. So yeah.
And that's
Mhm.
crazy because um life is so big. The world is so big. Generations before us, generations after us.
Yeah.
There are scientific things in the world, philosophical thoughts, concepts. Like, why do we
Mhm.
think we are supposed to know all the things?
Everything.
Why why do
Everything.
we feel like we are supposed to be sure about
Yeah.
everything when
Mhm.
we are this finite being in this like infinite kind of world that has so
Mhm.
much involved in it? I don't
Mhm.
even know. It's the perfectionist piece
Mhm.
of humanity. I think it's
Yeah.
our ego. It's our
Mhm.
human ego that says we're supposed to have an answer for everything, and that could not be the case. Can I
Mhm.
give one example? I don't know if
Yeah.
this is gonna take us down another road, but this was mentioned. I think it was mentioned during that episode, but it has always stuck out to me. And this is going, this will be a wonderful, wonderful clip for you to use. But um, who knows for sure that Adam and Eve were who they are and the exact story? Like, how do we verify that
Mhm. Yeah.
that that it happened that way with those two people? And
Mhm.
so I'm okay in this season of my life saying, how there is no way
Mhm.
anyone could know. You have
No.
to be at the very least uncertain about that.
Mhm.
And at
Mhm.
the most, you could doubt it happened at all and it's just figurative. But
Right.
at the very least, you gotta say, okay, nobody really knows. And you know, like the
Yeah.
just the common sense of who was around to record. So
Mhm.
I don't understand. Our ego says we have to know and we have
Mhm.
to be clear, but that cannot be the case about everything.
Yeah. Yeah. And like you said, it's the ego. And when I think about how I feel when I know something,
Mhm.
it is just I feel confident. I feel um just puffed up a little bit, like, oh, I know that I did that, So
Mhm.
it is this I wouldn't say arrogance. I don't think I go that far, but there's just this sense of like, I got that, I got it under control. It's a
Mhm.
control thing.
Yeah.
Knowing says that I can control things. So it's a false sense of security for me when I know something. When I don't, then I have to deal with the feelings, like you said, of fear and anxiety. And that brings discomfort. I start sweating. I start feeling just like hot and all
Butterflies
the
and
chills and the butterflies. And so it's the discomfort and the physical reactions that I don't want to feel and experience. So knowing helps to reduce that.
which is why we will make up a story to
Come
feel
on.
more certain
Come
about it.
on. Yes,
We will,
absolutely.
if we don't have an answer, we will provide one.
Yes, exactly. To give us a sense of comfort that he at least hears something.
Mhm. Yep. Yep.
Yeah, yeah. So
Mhm.
I wanted to talk about this so that we can explore our relationship with uncertainty, because like you said, it is not possible to know everything. There are things that we have been taught that it's like, well, who knew that? How do we really know that? And what do we do
Mhm.
with it if we question it and feel uncertain about it? Because sometimes that can keep us in bondage, the fear of asking those questions.
Mhm.
and a lot of times can keep us in a sense of bondage because we don't want to explore. So the last question I have as it relates to this is how can we reframe our dysfunctional beliefs about uncertainty? So whatever beliefs we have about knowing and about not knowing, how can we find comfort in the space of just not knowing?
Yeah. This is goodness to me because I can now speak about where I am.
Yeah.
I said a lot about where I've been, but for me, exactly what I just said about just thinking, I'm going to use the word logically,
Hmm.
but just what makes sense in my head and my heart, starting to trust myself enough to
Mm.
ask those questions and recognize the disconnects.
Hmm.
Because I have in the past saw the disconnect somewhere in me, but ignored them or overrode them because of my conditioning, because
Yeah.
of my environment. I'm
Hmm.
not supposed to question that. So I'm not going to entertain that thought. I'm going to suppress it. So to be able to trust myself to allow questions and things that feel like dissonance or
Yeah.
disconnect to come up. It's like you said, when you do really feel certain about something,
Hmm.
there's a confidence that you have that settles you.
Yeah.
So if I really tap into who I am and what I'm thinking and feeling, what does not feel settled in me for real?
Hmm.
Begin to ask myself questions that maybe I in the past have answered for myself. And if I ask them of myself before and I have the same answer, great.
Mm.
But if I have a different answer this time, that's great too. And
Yeah.
let's explore that. Let's walk down that road a little bit. So much so, Shavon, that I have now decided that I want to start having conversations. And what I've been calling them in my head is discovering what we know for sure.
Yeah.
And it's just the discovery of let's peel some things away. Let's start with what we think we know for sure.
Mhm.
Do I have any questions about that?
Mm.
Do I have any disconnect or dissonance about that?
Yeah.
And being brave enough to explore that opens me up to a whole new set of possibilities, a whole new world,
Mm.
maybe a whole new set of information that I can explore.
Yeah.
Um, I am open to the
Mhm.
process of learning new things.
Mm.
In order to learn new things, curiosity is required.
Yeah, that's so good.
So reframing for me is not being afraid to ask questions and be curious, even if I'm asking myself a question that I thought I'd answered for myself before. Ask again. Ask
Yeah.
ask myself again.
Mhm.
And if I'm still certain, great. If not, if I want to dig a little deeper, don't be afraid to excavate, as you said.
Mhm. Mhm.
Those are my first thoughts.
Okay. I love that. So this is an area that I'm honestly still exploring. So right
Mhm.
now, what I am learning is something that one of the people said in the podcast episode was a lot of times we don't want to experience uncertainty because we see uncertainty as just something that's out there and it's not a place. And
Mhm.
so we're trying to get back to some type of place where we feel grounded, but uncertainty is a space also.
Talk about it.
So it doesn't have to be like, oh, I don't want to be here because I feel like I'm in between things or I'm in between decisions or whatever, but this is a space too. So I think that was profound to me, just seeing uncertainty as a space
Mhm.
and like, man, okay, well, how can I decorate this space, so it's just seeing it differently. And something also that you talked about that I have really been using a lot of is curiosity. Like,
Mm.
really, even when I'm, meeting with my clients, just, like, getting curious about their story and about who they are, and so that can be applicable to me too. Getting curious about what I'm feeling, like, "Ooh, I am really feeling stressed right now because I don't know, so, what's that about?" So,
Mhm.
just the exploration that I can do when I feel uncertain, it helps me to dig into me and lean into those feelings and not run from them because it could be an indicator for me to explore and look a little deeper. And then the last thing I'll share about this, as it relates to this question, is being finding beauty in the present moment. So for me, a lot of times I'm so focused on knowing and projecting and forecasting what how the future is going to be or what tomorrow is going to look like and all of that, where and that can bring up anxiety and just the feelings of not knowing, because I don't know. I don't even know if I'm going to live tomorrow, right? So if I just live in the present moment, that can help ground me and keep me focused on what's right in front of me and finding the beauty in that. So those are just some of the things that I am practicing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm. I
Mhm.
love uncertainty as a place
Yeah. Yeah.
because we have been taught to disdain our doubt.
Mhm.
And I believe in some way, shape, or form, it was paraphrased I'm paraphrasing, it was said in the episode that if we don't have doubt, we don't have a need for faith.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's no need for faith. So
Yeah.
you have to start in a place of questions and
Mhm.
uncertainty. And then you can choose from a place of agency and
Mhm.
choice what I'm choosing to have faith in and believe in and be certain of.
Yeah.
But it starts with questions, it
Mhm.
starts with doubt, it starts with uncertainty.
Mhm.
And to be afraid of that and only need certainty just removes the need for faith.
It does.
Yeah.
And it also removes the need and the beauty of opportunities and possibilities.
Mhm.
Like, when there is
Mhm.
space of uncertainty, that opens it up to, "Oh my god, what can I create in this space?"
Mhm.
Like, there's so many possibilities and opportunities. So, yeah, that's another thing that we so it's just looking at shifting our perspective about what we're making uncertainty mean in our lives and what we're making it mean about ourselves. So, yeah,
I
that's
have
something.
one more.
Mhm.
You did it. You did this time.
Yes.
Because I'm thinking about, when this is aired, it will be toward the end of the year going into the new year.
Mhm.
But whenever you're watching this, it could be, a precipice moment for you. Uh,
Mhm.
but I'm thinking about how wonderful it is an opportunity to explore something new and scary, maybe.
Yeah.
Um, going in on the other side of fear for me
Mhm.
has always been a new knowingness. I
Mm,
get to know me better. I get to experience a win or a lesson.
mhm.
Um, but there's always some newness on the other. And I'm the type of person where as much as I like order and organization, I
Yeah.
really don't like monotony, right?
Yeah, right, exactly, yep.
So I like the idea of something new and adventurous happening on the other side, but I've got to
Yeah,
get over there.
right.
And in order for me to get over there, I've got to get past my fear of what is it going to
Mhm.
look like over there when I get over
Uh-huh,
there.
yep.
So all of that. Yeah.
Mhm, all of that, yes. So, thank you, sister. I enjoyed that
Thank you.
conversation. And I
Mhm.
hope that gives those of you who are watching and listening just food for thought, things to explore with yourself as you're thinking about how you truly relate to uncertainty and
So
how
good.
you can reframe that. Yeah.
Mhm.
All right. So we're going to mosey on into our next segment, putting myself in her shoes. So I heard this scenario on another show, and I thought it would be interesting because we are, like I said, in the holiday season, and this could very well happen because food prices are going up. So we're going to talk about Tanya and her family today.
Mhm.
So Tanya, she usually goes all out for her family when it comes to cooking for the holidays. So last year she spent about $500 on food
Mhm.
when she was cooking. But this year, Tanya said the price of food has gone up and she really can't afford to buy the food to cook such a lavish meal for everyone.
Talk, Tanya.
So instead of doing what she usually does, just the greens, tomatoes, the ham, the hog maw, all that stuff.
Greens, peas, tomatoes,
Right,
veggies,
exactly.
whole. Mhm.
All
Woo,
of that, right? The turkey, the chicken, the ham, everything. She just doesn't. She isn't able to do that. So instead, this year, Tanya said, "You know what I'm going to make? Spaghetti.
go ahead,
I
girl.
am making spaghetti as the holiday meal this year." And that's just gonna be it. So, sister, as a family member who usually goes to Tanya's house and usually is expecting a big spread, how would you feel if you showed up and on the menu was spaghetti and let's say some garlic bread?
Mhm. First of all, Tanya, you should have told me beforehand. You should have just told me
Hmm.
because I feel you. It's me. And you
Hmm.
asked me if I'm the family member. So I'm putting
Yeah.
myself in the shoes of the family member.
Hmm.
I would have told Tanya, I'm on your page. We are thinking the same thing about the cost of food these days and how much
Hmm.
money we spend in. And if you really love me, you're going to eat whatever I fix, all of
Hmm.
those things. I'm with you. But if you had told me in advance, we could have done some of this potluck style. Like you didn't have to do all of this by yourself.
Yeah.
Plus, I'm cool with spaghetti. I just would have, I wouldn't have fixed my appetite for what I thought we might be getting because
Right.
I'll put myself in. I'm looking for some vegetables, and now all you got for me is pasta and it's probably meat in this spaghetti. And
Yes.
I'm a vegetarian, so now you
Yeah.
got me twisted. I gotta find something else to eat. I'm gonna be eating the garlic bread, and that's it. But
Right.
but I think the expectation that she put on herself
Hmm.
prevented her from just being vulnerable with the family members that are coming over and saying, I can't do this the way that I normally do it.
Yeah.
I need some help, or y'all about to get spaghetti, which is fine if that's what
Right.
we all agree to.
Right.
So if I'm the family member, that's what I would have said because I am in such agreement with her. I am purging right now. I'm getting rid of some stuff. I'm changing my spending habits because I have some things I want to accomplish, and in order for that to happen, I need to clear the runway for the
Yeah.
stuff I'm looking forward to. I can't have stuff on the runway and I'm trying to take off. So
Yeah.
I'm with her. I just would
Mhm.
have wanted to know in advance.
Mhm. Yep.
What do you think?
So I feel the same way. I think I would be more irritated not by her choice, but by not telling us.
Mm,
Because
mm,
girl, where are the yams? Where the greens? Because it's just the expectation. If she never says anything, and then we show up and that's all it is, it's like, well, God, you should have showed us. We could have changed how we
mhm,
do the holidays. And like you said, we can all contribute because nobody you took that upon yourself to do that. We didn't ask you to do it. We were
mhm,
just doing it because we thought that's what you wanted to do.
mhm,
But now is the time. Just ask for help, girl, because we would have helped and bring
mhm.
some stuff. So I think I would have been a little irritated by that. But I do understand, like food is, and if I'm not contributing, I get it. But not in the moment. I don't get it because I don't understand why you didn't say anything. I don't understand
Mhm.
why the food that we're used to eating isn't there. So it would take me a little minute to get out of my feelings, I think, to understand because I wouldn't be able to understand why she didn't just communicate that. That would be the
Mhm.
biggest issue for me because with all the family members, we could have had a dope holiday,
Yeah.
and it doesn't have to be on one person. So yeah, food is expensive. especially when we're not contributing. How can I say anything? But it's just not setting that expectation up front, and we just show up and that's what we get is not fair. I don't think, but yeah.
Potluck it up. And anybody
Yeah.
who's feeling that pressure this year, this holiday season, all of that, take it off
Mhm.
of you. Do something different.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to express some vulnerabilities. It's just
Mhm.
yeah, people were expecting gifts from me the way that they had years past, and over time, I've just done less and less and less, so it's not
Yeah,
even a question anymore, you know?
exactly.
Yeah.
Because it just doesn't have to be about all of that, you know?
Mm,
Um,
mm-mm.
so yeah. So that's what I would do if I was a family member. But Tanya, girl, just ask for what you need, honey. We got you.
Absolutely. Take the pressure off. Mhm.
Yes, yes, yes. All right. So we are at our last segment, sister.
We
We are
did that.
gonna leave. We did. We're gonna leave a spiritual nugget that would just hopefully inspire, encourage, and uplift our listeners. So, what is coming up for you in this moment?
You said it. I can't let it go. Uncertainty is a beautiful place.
Mm, mhm,
Uncertainty is a beautiful place. Do not be afraid to explore questions, your curiosity. Um, ask, asking questions is the beginning of all wisdom.
mhm,
Nothing, the answers don't start.
mm,
Questions start rolling out some answers for you. And so I would just say explore curiosity
mhm,
um, and asking yourself questions and being curious is a beautiful place.
mhm. I
Mhm.
love that. I love that. What's coming up for me is when you feel yourself getting anxious about uncertainty, just breathe.
Mm,
Because for a lot of times we're in our head so much about what's happening. What do I know? What don't I know? What do I do? I don't know how to fix it. I don't know what's going to happen. And we're all in our heads when we really just need to just be still, just take a breath, take a pause, and breathe and
mhm,
trust that not knowing is okay. It's okay to
mhm,
not know in this moment. It is
mhm,
okay. There have been other times where you didn't know
mhm,
and you survived.
mhm,
So you will be just fine in this
mhm,
moment of not knowing.
mhm.
It's okay. I'm talking to you as I'm talking to myself.
I love it. It's okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm,
It is okay. Yeah. So
You just made me breathe. Another
uh-huh.
reminders to breathe.
Yes, yes.
Mhm,
Sometimes we just need to slow ourselves down, slow our minds down, and just embrace this present moment.
mhm.
Yeah.
So good. Thank you
All
for that.
right. Yeah. So y'all, we are Real Women Rock. And like I said, we are an organization that exists to create safe spaces for women to do real work on themselves. The work that we have been talking about today on ourselves, that we've been being vulnerable and honest with. So that's what we do with each other every month in sister circles, both in person and virtually. And you're in for a treat because you still have time to join one more sister circle before this year ends. So this weekend we have a virtual sister circle where everybody can join from all the women. Let me say that, not everybody, but
Mhm,
all the women can join from the comfort of their own homes, and you can just come in. And we're going to be talking about just reflecting on 2024, and we're going to be setting some intentions for the next year and just kind of reflecting on where we are, how we're feeling, and just having some fun with that. So feel free to visit our website, realwomenrock.org, for more information on how you can log into that virtual session this Saturday at 10 a.m. And you can also visit our website to find out how you can connect with us, whether it be as a member. because you can become a member and help us further our mission and vision for this amazing organization so that we can reach more women, because that is our goal, to reach as many women as we can so that they can have a safe space of sisters who supports them. So yeah, for more information, visit our website, and we look forward to connecting with you in the future.
Yay.
Yay! All right,
Did
sister. Yay! This has been great. And
it.
until next time, y'all, we'll see you on the other side.
Bye-bye.
Bye.